now going to be ending with the last portion of cycles, trends, and patterns. And a pattern is, to read it properly, a repetitive activity, characteristic, or occurrence. They could be in numbers, they could be in design, they could be in letters, they could be in color. We have patterns all over the place. And the great thing about patterns is it enables us to be able to identify where we are, it enables us to identify where we're going. It gives us a sense of design or feeling, yet we also have patterns in the way in which employees work. We have them in geopolitical conditions when it comes to wars. We have them in how leadership engages the staff. You can see a pattern of behavior. You've heard that expression. I've seen a pattern of behavior in a court of law. All of these cycles, trends, and patterns, when we hit the pattern side, we're looking at this repetitiveness that we're seeing that has a differentiation from cycle, where it's going over and over and over again, or we have a trend where we're seeing a trend up or down, bullish or bearish. And here, what we're doing is we're seeing some type of configuration that's happening. And we can see this in all sorts of areas of our lives. The way layoffs are happening with an organization, or the way railroads are positioned across a country or a continent. Now, how valuable is this? By understanding patterns, just like the others, you can be proactive in your decision making. So let me give you two examples that are fairly current. Let's say you were looking to take advantage of the changes in fuel, and you saw that fuel was going up, which it was in the early 2000s. So certain companies went out and bought fuel at a certain price, hedging that the prices would continue to go up and they would get an advantage. Southwest Airlines did that. One of their advantages was that they bought fuel at a very low price and were able to maintain that. However, when things change and you buy at the wrong position because you weren't cognizant, you weren't aware of the patterns, you could end up losing big time. Now, there's a position that's happening, I just read it in the news. There are many companies that are part of a US-based area which are trying to move towards more eco-friendly fuel sources. And in order to do that, they'd have to be able to break their leases or break their contracts with the local municipalities who are servicing them with electric. Now, the challenge is, and one of Warren Buffett's companies, is that these companies might have a 30-year contract. And the organizations know that they can get a better price by using solar power or Bloom Energy, which is a company out of San Francisco that creates an energy source using a chemical reaction. So there are all different ways in which you could use patterns to be able to take advantage of opportunities. In one case, we saw Southwest take advantage of it, and they were doing fine. We have Warren Buffett's company now fighting against what they didn't predict, or they weren't able to forecast as well. So, and sometimes these even patterns abruptly stop. For example, I'm in Hong Kong right now, and there used to be a law where people can come over the border every day and buy merchandise. Well, the Chinese government decided they didn't like that anymore, and in one day they said, we're now going to allow the Chinese population only to come in Hong Kong once a week. And that has completely changed the retail landscape as well as the commercial landscape through the region. So if you're paying attention to cycles, trends, and patterns, you'll see also many other opportunities. For example, I'm going to give you one. When I was growing up, and maybe some of you, we didn't have the term tweens. Tweens are an 18 to 20-year-old girl. Prior to that, you'd have a young girl growing up, and she would be very interested in dolls. Today, dolls are not as advantageous of a product to be offering because there's an 18 to 20-year-old category. And they're more interested in using their cell phone, they're more interested in taking pictures, they're more interested in technology and music in a way that the other category did not. So they actually broke them into this tweens categorization. And by looking across cycles, trends, and patterns, you're looking at all three of them, you're able to identify that these tweens have a different set of behaviors, a different set of living conditions that you can then market to. And that means that your advertising might not work the same way as it did before. It might mean the promotions you used might not work as they did before. So here's an opportunity for you to be ahead of the curve, to be one of those people who are making forecasts and being on that cusp of servicing a new base of clients or customers. So we've just gone over cycles, trends, and patterns. They're very, very easy, and yet I bet you in each one of them, every one of them, you said, oh, I know that. Of course you know this. You are a forecaster. The challenge in forecasting is this. If you're not paying attention, you won't see it. You could run into challenges. And here's my example. You've probably seen texting and driving commercials, ads, information. They've proven that if you're having your head down texting and you're trying to drive, the odds are you'll have an accident. If you are on a subway or an MTR or an underground, depending on where you are in the world, and you're texting, you might miss your stop. If your head is down and you're not looking ahead, no way you're going to see it. Cycles, trends, and patterns, or any forecasting, takes work. It remains your responsibility to keep your eyes up, look at what's going around, listen to what's being said to see if it's actually from appropriate people who really know what they're talking about. Smell, taste, touch, to know what's exactly in your future. It's all around you. Start paying attention.